and display the marks to the students, meaning a lot less marking time for the teacher and instant feedback for the student. In conclusion, we think that technology has the ability to change the dynamics of time in the school. Technology gives teachers more time to work with students individually or in small groups. Students can save class time by accessing assignments or tutorials from home. Assessment technologies also help teachers to identify students with points more efficiently and spend time teaching and less on paperwork. In the words of farmer West Virginia Governor Bob Wise, technology can be a force multiplier for teachers, permitting them to reach more students than ever before. Thank you.
Okay, as we reflect on what we have gained, especially in new technologies, I also think about what we have lost, and I wonder, will there be a turning point? If so, how beautiful it will return to many beautiful and necessary things that have been lost. Okay, physical contact with loved ones. Through social networks, we gain the possibility to keep in touch with our loved ones apart in geography. But what happened to the people we live with every day? Immersed in the smartphones and nobody recognizes it, you have at your side. The phone and the computer are an extension of our personality, and the world collapses if one of the two fails. At some point, we have to stop before it is too late. Before inside your house, we have lost the most valuable thing we have, your family. Privacy. Nobody bothers you today, photograph and publish that picture on or record a video, shirtless, wearing pajamas, in a bed, and so on. Not to mention that other social networks have openly live and every step they take. This, to me, is like having opened the door of house forever. The creativity. Everything is on television or on the internet. Then why create? We have forgotten to find resources within us. Contact with the outside. Years pass and sunrises, sunsets, and nobody looks out the window of the plane, train, automobile. Headphones in their ears have defended the sounds of nature, and our eyes do nothing but go over the lives of others through social networks. We have grace to marvel at what actually not worth.
Hello everybody, I'm Lorenzo, I'm from Italy, and my topic is the use of the interdisciplinarity. Not all students are distracted by technological devices, but most of them take advantage of all the positive motivations tied to them, such as interdisciplinarity. The word interdisciplinarity means a topic or a methodology formed by the interaction of more disciplines. It is widespread in all areas like scientific, technical, professional and school ones, because it allows to combine more disciplines that are often responsible to face and solve better various issues. At school, the use of interdisciplinarity is spreading more and more in order to improve learning. At school, it's supported by workshops, projects, research, mentors, and so on. Technological development improve and make the use of it more efficient. For example, when you're searching something on the net, it happens that you are suggested to be of other related pages. Indeed, thanks to the web, you can search different topics that have things in common in a faster way and connect them. Examples of interdisciplinary digital content are the hypertext. Hypertext are documents constituted by links that are some words that allow you to move in different parts of the document or to others that are useful to understand what you need better. Multimedia content can also be interdisciplinary, as videos that contain different types of arguments put together. In short, interdisciplinarity favored by the growing spread of of technology enables you of better learning, thanks to the union of many disciplines. Technology can give teachers and students great resources, new opportunities for learning ways to collaborate and create in such many time. In conclusion, digital learning technologies help the students to learn more efficiently, more fluently, with mastery, and learn at any time anywhere. Thank you all.
Good afternoon. Although I consider the arguments of the opposite team as strong and I don't deny the advantages of the technology, I still cannot completely agree. In today's digital age, everything is being done virtually. Mail is now sent through electronic accounts. I can see my parents every time I want, although they live far away from here. And increasingly more people are working and studying remotely from home. People no longer can imagine a time without instant communication, without finding information instantly. Although the advantages, as I said, of telecommunications cannot be denied, it's important to remember that before all the advancements in science and technology, people used to interact more. The truth is that humans are social beings. The young people and an increasing number of the adults find themselves active on the social media, scrolling their Facebook walls, and their search for connection shows that people crave human interaction. These characteristics separate us from the rest of the species in the animal kingdom. The physical interaction, when it comes to education, is the best way to learn, communicate, and attain memories. It's fact that all meaningful relationships are developed through personal interaction, with the strongest connections made when there is time spent together. That is why we believe that virtual training and education cannot be as effective as the traditional face-to-face method of learning. What's the point of those debates when each of you can find information in Google if they write the title of the topic in internet? By actively seeing me in front of you, talking passionately about my topic, it ignites the same passion and interest in you. The old method of studying does not only ensure a better understanding and recall of the lessons and its content. The face-to-face element adds an opportunity for the colleagues to bond, interact with one another, and learn from each other. And exactly this is what we do now. It also helps us to develop our social skills, which are very important for our successful future. 2 days ago, I was in Rome, and I saw hundreds of people making pictures of the different sightseeings. There were phones and tablets and selfie sticks all around me, and at the same time, tourist guides were talking about the history of the sightseeings, but nobody listened. And how many of these tourists will search the information later on internet? Probably nobody. Even if they do, richness of information and memorable experiences are deduced through behavior, body language, gesture, tone, and even the volume of voice. Face-to-face communication allows the entire experience to not only be heard, but also seen and felt. The computer screen or the phone screen cannot make it up for human interaction and a valuable social life. Next, computers cannot replace everything in life. From another person, we can learn a lot more than, for example, Wikipedia can offer us. That's why I believe that traditional education is much more effective than the digital learning. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so I want to thank everyone for attending this debate. It was very interesting. I enjoyed listening to each and every speech, and noticed how everyone put their time and effort into it. You could hear that in the speeches. So I'm gonna go speech by speech, pointing out things you could improve and things I did like, which were good, and then at the end I will choose the winning side. Okay, so the first pro speech by Begum was 3 minutes long, which would be really good time for a speech, but you wasted about 30 seconds of it with the introduction, which was made by the announcer Matteo. So it was a bit of a shame. We had the announcer, so it was not necessary. It could be used as time to elaborate further on the arguments he presented. Other than that, it was. I like that you established the situation your team was going after, as in you said what you thought the digital learning was. So, because I've heard the teachers arguing about whether digital learning is only through the computer or whether it's this hybrid learning that you established, which would be the teacher in the classroom and everyone owning a tablet or something. So, I like that you established that because it gives certainty to the entire debate and people know how to respond appropriately because of that. So, in other words, it was a very nice speech. Then there was the first con speech by Christina. It was 6 minutes, so it was great. You said a lot of things that needed to be said, but you also had an introduction, which is only a little point to do. It's not that important that you made it. It's not a big deal. So the speech was good because you backed it up with the statistics, and you could link the statistics to the point to the point you were making. So you did that really well because it was structured and people could understand it, and everything followed in a line. So it wasn't fractured. It was good. It was a good speech as well. Then went Alexandru, who had a nice speech and said a lot of things that needed to be said. What was great was that you summed up the entire speech in the end, so giving you more time to speak, so that was nice. I had a little bit of a tough time understanding maybe if you spoke a little slower, that would be nice. And yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you for the speech. Then there was the second con speech by Jose, which the only thing I have to tell is that it was really short. You could have maybe drawn it out a little bit by talking slower or using more words for the sentences. But I noticed that you were talking about things that weren't really relevant to the entire debate topic. You were talking about how social media disconnects people and how people only consume through technology, but you didn't connect that to how it affects learning with children. Yeah. So I think you could have elaborated on that a little bit further. It's like you started very well, but you didn't really connect it. And I think that the time you didn't use for the speech could have been used to link your argument to the entire debate topic. Next up was Innocenzo, who also had a very short speech, but it was concentrated. We heard everything that needed to be said, but again, you could have elaborated by using maybe longer sentences or saying stuff twice, like not exactly, but drilling it into our heads, the arguments you were making. So I think you could have made the speech a little bit longer. And the last speech was by Natalia, it was very well worded, very well structured. I knew what you were talking about during the entire speech, so that was pretty nice. But since through the entire argument you were making is that physical interaction with the teacher is really important for a kid's learning ability, but Begum established that the teacher and the children are in the same room, the classroom, so they had that physical contact. If you maybe said that kids didn't pay attention in the classroom when they're on tablets and computers, you could have linked that to the situation that Begum established. So, but even if it was a bit off of the topic, it was still very well said. And I noticed that you had no pauses or stuff, unnecessary bumps like I'm doing right now. And so I like that you were confident and you kept looking around, noticing if people listened to you. So that was very good. So in conclusion, although this may be a bit biased because I am a bit biased myself, I give the win to the pro team because I personally agree with the topic, even though it might be unfair. Their arguments convinced me more.
Okay.
So,
Thank
yes,
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.